Welcome back to Altenberg in Germany, round 3 of the BMW IBSF Women's Skeleton World Cup in a snowy week in the Saxon Swiss Alps. We are at one of Germany's toughest tracks, ready for the second and deciding heat in the competition. I'm Martin Haven. Alongside me is Ben Sanford, the former New Zealand slider. And Ben, we've got one standout performer in the first heat, but a battle royal for the other medals.
Absolutely. Jacqueline Lolling really had a good first run. Here we see Janine Flock in third place at the moment. Really nice, solid run from Janine, looking really calm and relaxed on the sled. Couple of small mistakes where she could improve and pick up some time in the second heat. Tina Hermann, another German slider, really strong here in Altenberg. Training conditions have been difficult this week, but Tina's been training well. She knows this track so well, and she was very disappointed after her first round, so she'll be really looking forward to challenge for that gold medal in the second heat.
And the woman they all have to catch has never won a World Cup race before. Will this be the first?
Yeah, and she's in the leader's box here. She's leading by over 0.3 of a second. She looks so smooth on the first run, really calm, controlled, and fast, really fast.
Jens Müller with a big smile on his face. It could yet be a German clean sweep because Janine Flock in third, but the other German slider, Anna Fernstedt, lies in fourth place. Jacqueline Lurling has the lead, and it started to snow. Now, compared to Tina Hermann, Lurling and Janine Flock are taller, longer, and therefore heavier athletes. And Ben, you know from your experience at 6'6" plus, that height, that mass is an advantage if any amount of snow is in the track.
Yeah, absolutely. Snow plays a really big factor in a skeleton race, and if there's a lot of snow falling and the snow is coming down harder and harder here, it's going to be interesting to see what the track crew is going to do. Are they going to sweep after every slider, or how they're going to sweep the track? But definitely, if you're a little bit heavier and you're going through the snow, you're going to carry that speed more.
22 women started the first heat. The fastest 20 go through. So Nozomi Kimura of Japan and Katie Tannenbaum of the Virgin Islands do not. Maria Montejano will be the first on ice. Air temperature rising a little to -5 from the low overnight of -14. And Jacqueline Lurling's sled there, 6th onto the ice this morning. She will be the last of our 20 athletes to go as they go in reverse order, last to fast. Everybody making their final preparations. Ben, you're not allowed to change the runners themselves between runs, but you can change the amount of rock there is, because they're not flat, they're a little bit like a rocking chair. You can change how much contact patch you've got.
Yeah, and that's what you see there. So the park for me, where the sleds are stored in between the heats and before the race, is open for the athletes to go in and adjust the settings on their sled. And so what they're doing is basically changing the contact patch where the runner is touching the ice. They might want a little bit more control, so you want more contact, or less control and less contact.
Yeah. Well, after 2 days of heavy snow, in fact, 2 days ago there was only one training run for skeleton because it snowed so much. It was a dry, clear first heat, but we're back to snowy conditions, and this will definitely settle in the track. First, top 20. Second heat for Maria Montejano of Spain, 24th and 25th in the season openers in Whistler and Lake Placid in her first full World Cup season. It's a great opportunity for her. She'll have the cleanest track probably of anybody.
Yeah, and already you can see that when she's going over the snow is blowing away, so there's already quite a bit of snow in the track, and it's probably going to stay there. I doubt that they're going to be sweeping a whole lot. A little bit higher next to the floor. It's really good to see Maria in the World Cup. She's been sliding for a number of years now and trying to make the World Cup, and finally this season made it, and now in the top 20.
Yep, absolutely so. One of the most diminutive of the athletes. She really is very petite, so that's not going to help her much. But again, snow, there was nothing 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, it was light. Now it's starting to look big, fat and heavy, and this is definitely going to affect the pace of the race.
You're having a few problems there out of Kreisel, but reasonable line out of 14 into 15.
You can see the snow flurry she's leaving behind her, can't you? So there's definitely snow in the track. Across the line she comes, a 1 minute 0.91, so a fraction slower. She had a 1 minute 0.79 in the first heat. Now we see yesterday in training 60.91. That would have been a quick run. That would have been top 5 or 6 because it was so snowy yesterday. There was only 2 women in the entire day of women's skeleton training who got under the 60-second margin. They currently lie first and second, you won't be surprised to hear. But Maria got a good run in.
Yeah, nice push at the start here by Maria. That last foot, you really want to get that close to the sled and get the angles right and forcing the sled forward. Coach in the background, Martin Rettel.
Big smile. And the Bambi eyes from Maria Montejano of Spain. She's in the leader's box. Now the question is, how long might she stay there? Joske Leconte of the Netherlands and Kimberly Bos, who follows her onto the ice, were both 3 or 4 tenths ahead of Maria. So they should stay in front.
Yeah, it's good to see 2 Dutch athletes on the World Cup. I think that's the first time we've ever seen 2 female Dutch athletes on the World Cup. And,
you're right.
And now I think both of them are on Bromley sleds and coached by Kristen Bromley. And it's good to see Kristen back out on the circuit. A little bit skidding there, 2 to 3. She get around 4.
Speaking of Kristen earlier in the season, saying, are you fully retired? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then he took some runs and
hasn't quite persuaded Shelley that she's fully retired yet. I think you know when we saw Noah Piker's pace coming back, I think she thought, you know what, maybe. And Maya Pedersen has returned as well after 2 Olympic seasons, quadrennials away.
Quite a nice run by Joske. A few little mistakes here and there, adjusting on the sled from 14 to 15.
Building her advantage over Maria Montejano. So she will go into the lead of the race. 6,700s up, so goodbye to Maria and hello to the leader's box.
And a faster run than the first heat by Joske.
Yeah.
So even with the snow, she's still improving.
100th of a second quicker, 60.51 to 60.52 in the first heat.
I guess one of the saving graces today with the snow is it's not that heavy, wet snow. It's quite a light, fluffy snow at the moment. So when it's that heavy, wet snow, it just sticks to the track and it really slows you down a lot. See the track worker there standing on the side of the track. He's going to jump in now and start sweeping. So looks like they are going to try and do a good job and sweep up after every slider. Yeah,
well, having got a clean first heat out of the way, they desperately do not want to call off the second heat. Kristen Bromley, again, back at the top there. Strange to see him in orange, isn't it? Of course, the Dutch colours. And here is Kimberly Bos. So Kimberly, one of the younger sliders, new to the World Cup, into the World Championships last year, full of excitement at performing at that level, but this is her World Cup rookie season. 23 years old. Yeah, it's always a big step up when you get onto the World Cup and you have to perform, week after week on different tracks every time, and it really tests your experience and how much knowledge you have of different tracks and your equipment and how you perform during it for a whole season. Former bobsleigh driver in her youth, went to Skeleton a couple of seasons ago. Only other previous competition here in Winterberg was the Junior World Championships in 2015. 10th here. 5.72 getaway, so she has the lead over her teammates and extends her advantage, but
a few corrections there at the top of the track. Top of track here in Altenberg, there's a couple of long straights and you really want to be calm and relaxed on the sled and really let it flow. Build up some speed before corner 4. Corner 9, trying to line up Kreisel at the bottom of this long straight.
See the runners leaving marks in the snow. It's starting to settle in the track. You see it here again.
Through the washing machine, 11 and 12. Into 13, where all the pressure is.
She was only 900ths ahead of Joske Leconte in the first heat. She's now 7600ths ahead. She could be in the leader's box for a while. She's got some nice warm clothing in the down bag. 59.59, and Ben, that's nearly half a second quicker than she went in the first heat.
nearly a full second quicker.
Gesamtzeit, ihre Zeit jetzt im zweiten Lauf 59,8.
Yeah, that's a big improvement. That's a really good run by Kimberly. She's a good slider. Second at the Junior Worlds last year.
Yeah.
Has a lot of talent, and first year on the World Cup, that's a good run.
Now, 59.59 in the first heat would have left her in 9th, not 18th.
Yeah, and here we see corner 4 just skidding sideways out of corner 4 and just collecting that entrance. So if she'd got corner 4 right, that's another couple of tenths there.
Next up from Australia, Queenslander Jacqueline Narracott. And she is tied for 16th place with Canada's Mimi Reneva. Reneva was first on the ice, so she will be judged to have set the time, which Jackie tied. So Jackie goes first, and Mimi will follow her.
One of the things here in Altenberg is because the start is so long, it's really important to actually run a long way and run the sled over the crest. I've seen athletes before just get on too early and then suddenly they land on the sled and they're still not over the crest yet.
Slow right down. Wait for the hill to come to you.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bit rough coming into 5 there.
Something we noticed in training yesterday, most of the athletes start with a runner in the right-hand groove, which are cut for bobsleds, which have got a wider track than the skeleton sleds. The left-hand groove, therefore, filled up with snow, and so those that did try the left-hand groove really struggled. So the jury were then very insistent the track workers swept both grooves thoroughly, so hopefully that will be the case today.
Very nice run here, reasonably smooth. A little bit too much on the left-hand side there. Ooh. Just a mistake out of 15.
Lose a place to Kimberly Bos of the Netherlands. Bos remains in the lead. And second place for Jackie Narracott.
00,85 ihre Gesamtzeit. Total time 2 minutes
Spent
00.8.
Christmas New Year break in the UK, visiting London
moment.
again. Fast turning into her favourite city. A 60.53 run. That was a quarter second slower than her first. And it looks like more of a struggle as well this time down. And they will have made their adjustments based on a dry day, gone into the changing room, and then it started snowing. So any adjustment you might have made to suit the track has now gone out the window.
Yeah, one of the constants, though, today is going to be the temperature. The temperature, it says -5, but it's definitely not -5. It says -21 on my phone. So it's cold.
Somewhere in there. So next up is Mirella Reneva then. Made her World Cup debut on home ice in Whistler. She was 5th there. Bronze medal in Lake Placid. 2 races into her World Cup campaign and she's already been in amongst the medals. Now she does have European experience, but not as much, understandably, as she does of North American tracks.
A few adjustments there coming out of the groove and trying to line up corner 1.
Little quicker start than in the first heat.
Keeping on that left wall coming into 3. Made that early entrance into corner 3, which really helps with the line through 4. That's, ooh! That'll be an interesting camera angle afterwards.
You should see her resettling herself on the sled as well. Clearly when she loaded on the run down to corner 1, she wasn't comfortable because she resettled.
Pulling the sled across early into Kreisel. Very low in the first pressure. It's a very flat line around Kreisel. And often you see when athletes are really flat around Kreisel, they really struggle with the exit. It just pushes them too long in the corner and then they stay on too long and come out and hit that left-hand wall.
Do you need the height in Kreisel to give you that horseshoe effect where you kind of slingshot your way down off the side of the corner?
I think you do. It's skeleton and people have different lines. And, I think it's better to oscillate a little bit through Kreisel. Let it run a bit more.
Well, she drops 2 spots down to 3rd position. Kimberly Bos of the Netherlands lives on in the leader's box. Mimi Reneva, previous race here in Europa Cup in December 2015. It's only her 2nd ever race in Altenberg.
Exit at corner 4 here, one of the trickiest corners in the world. And just too high on the exit, it pushes you across and you hit the fillet to the next corner. And and then a bit of a scorpion halfway around corner 5.
That may be the wildest we've seen. There's Dennis Ducours offering a little bit of a, not a shoulder to cry on, but it's a sympathetic hug there. Kimberly Bos, the Netherlands, leads and is climbing the order. She may be in the leader's box for some while. Wearing start vest number 2, the USA's Kendall Westenberg. Tuffy Latour holding her Proto-Star sled. New Proto-Star coming out for this season. Nancy Yolander was telling me that she's only had something like 10 trips on hers. And Kendall, you saw there with a 1400ths of a second advantage over Kimberly Bos. Kendall's going to need a big start and a clean run to hang on to that. Already, she's behind. So Kimberly Bos started 5:72.
Nice position on the sled. Hit nice and close to the ice. Using her feet in corner 4 to keep the sled low.
Only raced here once before. That was in the World Cup last season. That was her first ever World Cup race. Since the season opener last year, she finished in 18th. Moment, she might be struggling to match that. She's come from 4th to 3rd now. She has the lead into the green over Kimberly Bos.
Can she get 14 right? Pretty nice little bit of a correction.
She's gone from 2/10 up to only a 10th, 1:10.6. Kimberly Bos was quicker by 2 or 3 miles an hour and holds on. Kendall Westenberg goes down by a 10th.
That's some close sliding there.
Yes, there is. 14 remaining. She's in 2nd, so she improves on last year's result by a couple of spots. Like you said, Ben, 4 to 5, that's one of the toughest transitions in the business, and this is a really difficult track. Like Lake Placid, if you don't know it, you don't know it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the more times you can come to Altenberg, the more time you can spend training here, the more familiar Kreisel here is going to feel, the more confident you're going to be with your timing. And if you want a performance skeleton, it comes down to timing.
Keeps her head buried in Kreisel there. She was quite happy with where she was going there. Next up is our 2nd Canadian in the heat. In fact, our remaining 2 Canadian sliders are cheek by jowl, side by each, I believe, as they say in Newfoundland. Jane Channel first. Elizabeth Vache follows her. Jane with 1900ths in hand over Kimberly Bos. Is Bos going to end up in the top 10? At the moment, this is the battle for 14th spot.
Go, 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 go!
Another feature of skeleton is which side of the sled you push on and which groove you're going to push on. And so athletes spend all the off-season training for the push, working on their athletic fitness and trying to become stronger and faster. And you see Jane pushing on the upper side of the sled with the groove with the sled in the right-hand groove. Gets through corner 4-5 transition.
Bit skiddy, but at least she had all the runners on the ice. 4/10 up.
Through the labyrinth here, it's really key to be relaxed. Do a little bit of steering in the corners and then just let it flow between each corner.
You can see now in some of the corners how much snow is starting to build up in the ditch. On the straights, not so bad yet.
Quite a nice Kreisel. Looked like she maintained some speed around there.
Still nearly half a second in front, down to a 1/3 of a second. This should be enough through the final corners. She will take the lead from Kimberly Bos. And does by 1400ths. That was close. So 59.64. Kimberly Bos's run actually was quicker. And they're the only 2 girls under the 60-second barrier so far in this 2nd heat.
Yeah, nice run by Jane. Good push at the top of the track and then slid well down the track. Nice 4-5, nice Kreisel. Tripping over at the finish.
Falls into the leader's box. Now, was it her start where her last stride with her right foot went way out?
No, that was someone else, yeah. But really important when you're pushing the sled to get that final foot plant close to the sled.
That was Kendall. There's Jane from North Vancouver. Canadian father, Japanese mother, hence the colour scheme on the back of the helmet, the rising maple leaf. Elizabeth Vache from Dutch grand parentage, so kind of home from home, Winterberg in the Dutch Alps next weekend. Let's see what she can do here. She had a slender advantage over Jane Channel of just 0.03 of a second. This is going to be tight as well.
A lot of snow falling now. They're doing a good job of keeping it out of the track, sweeping after every slider. Nice early entrance into corner 4. Oh! That's going to be at least 2 tenths there.
Again, you can really see the darker marks starting to appear in the track where the snow isn't, which is good as long as you're on that part of the ice.
Yeah, not good when you're on the snow part and looking across the track at the clear part.
Really trying to control that final oscillation in the Kreisel. It was all a bit rapid. She's behind by 1600s and won't find that at the bottom, surely.
No, you're not going to pick up any speed at the bottom of the track. You really need to get Kreisel right to maintain that speed through the bottom of the track. If you don't get Kreisel right, you're not going to magically find the speed.
2400s drops behind Jane Channel, our current leader, and Kimberly Boss. So Elizabeth Arce in 3rd place with a dozen sliders to come. So tie for 3rd place between Elizabeth Arce and Kendall Wessenberg. She may not have the best weekend here, and this is part of the reason why.
You hit that wall, the 4-5 wall, really early. And, oh.
Fell off 4, didn't she?
Yep, yep.
I can't see that without my back feeling uncomfortable. You know,
it's a free chiropractor visit, that. Getting an adjustment by the track.
Yeah. Next up is Belgium's Kim Meilmans. So 12th place, first heat run for her. Her advantage over current leader Jane Channel was 0.08 of a second. This is a really tight group of athletes, half a dozen covered by little more than 1/10 of a second. And this is where you get that snakes and ladders effect, where just a blink of the eye almost in the wrong place, Ben, is going to cost you or gain you something.
Yeah, absolutely. And as an athlete, you know, about to start your run, you don't really want to be thinking about what anyone else is doing. You just want to be thinking about what you're doing, controlling what you can control, and focusing on your run and how you're going to approach the track and steer your way down.
I always think that's one of the reasons this is such a friendly sport, is because nothing anybody else does can affect your run. It's just you versus the mountain, and it's the same for everyone else.
Yeah, that's how it's meant to be, but obviously, you know, somehow, you know, your mind creeps into everything, and you start looking at what other people are doing, and it really depends on how you can cope with that and how you can cope with the pressure.
Again, that's your own fault as well, not anybody else's.
Putting a nice run together here.
9th here last year. Will she crack the top 10 this season?
Nice line out of Kreisel into 11. Nice position on the sled through 12.
Still behind and a long way behind. Jane Channel is going to stay in the leader's box. Kim Meilmans is going to drop half a dozen places, perhaps. Not the run she wanted. Across the line, 5 spots back. Yikes. And again, you know, when you're only 300 or 400s in front, one error, get it wrong in 4, and all of that goes times 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Skeleton's all about correcting mistakes or not making mistakes. And if you make a mistake in certain parts of this track, and that's going to cost you a lot of time. Mistake in corner 4, it's going to cost you time, and it's also going to slow you down for the rest of the track. See who exited corner 14, like, head very close to the ice, but just coming out, not holding the sled on the corner long enough and just touching the wall on the left, and that's an uphill hit on the wall, and so that'll cost you a 10th or so.
4th race weekend here in Altenberg for her. Katie Eulander making her first international appearance since the Games in Sochi in 2014. Her last World Cup race was in the final run up to the Olympic Games. So returning from a biopsy on her liver just 3 weeks ago, she was in a hospital bed and is definitely feeling the after effects of that, but great to see her back and with the fire still to compete.
Yeah, Katie has a lot of experience. She's been on the World Cup Tour for a long time. Had a lot of great results, had great results here in Altenberg in the past.
Yep. Silver in the World Championships behind Arne Huber in 2008. Silver to Marion Thies. 3 race appearances here ago. 2012-13 season.
See her between corner 9 and Kreisel, just using her toe to get the line into Kreisel that she wants. This nice exit of Kreisel, nice and smooth.
Now, I wonder how she's holding up physically. She said she's spent 1 day training in the gym since December, since her operation 3 weeks ago. Is feeling physically pretty washed out. And comes in 200s behind Jane Channel. Do you know what? She'll take that, pick it up and walk away quite happily from Altenberg. She hasn't got hurt. She's not feeling the strongest physically.
At the moment,
so 200s of a second behind Jane Channel with 10 sliders down and 10 still to come. She might yet end up with a top 10 finish.
11-12 transition here. So important to get into 11 early and be smooth through 11 and into 12, which will set you up nice and early going into 13.
And you just look at the wash of snow that's left by the athlete as they go through. It is increasing. Well, there is the smile and the red hair. Katie Uhlaender lies in second. Jane Channel leads 10 down, 10 to go. No 2-minute break halfway through our run because of the snow. So we are going straight into our next athlete, and it is Annie O'Shea of the USA. So she had 10th spot ahead of her teammate by 2900ths after the first heat. Then as the snow continues to fall, the track workers are doing a great job. But look, as soon as you get out of the cover at the top, look how thick it is down there. That's got to hurt the later sliders.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things with new tracks these days is they're building roofs over the track so you don't get the rain or the snow coming down onto the ice. But Altenberg's an old track and they don't have the full track covered. They're working on that. They're building more roofs every year, but there's some big sections of this track which are completely open to the elements.
It is an outdoor sport, and the weather does play an effect, certainly has done here this week in training. World Championships coming back here in 2020, so we expect there'll be more work on the track leading up to that.
Annie's got a good lead here, and she's looking good. It was a nice Kreisel. She's looking quick, looking relaxed on the sled. That's just getting a little bit there into 15.
It's a very good run, 6/10 up nearly. And at the line, takes a 6/10 advantage over Jane Channel, so she will confirm herself in the top 10, and 59.52 is the fastest run we've had so far. If the first heat only decided the starting order for Heat 2, and it was on 1 time alone, Annie O'Shea would be leading by 700ths from Kimberly Bos of the Netherlands. Now, Usain Bolt doesn't get a head start in the 100 metres final, no matter how much he wins the semi by. I'm just saying, we need to look at rule changes like that. That would throw the cat among the pigeons.
Annie coming out of corner 14, and she had quite a nice line, but the sled just got away from her a little bit, and then going in quite middle and skidding into 15.
2 6th-place finishes in Whistler and Lake Placid to start the season for Annie O'Shea, who leads. 9 to go. This is Lelda Pregelena, our junior world champion. And Lelda in 9th place after the first heat. Where did she finish last year? In 5th spot. And her previous race in Winterberg was the 2015, in Altenberg rather, 2015 Junior Worlds, where she finished in 4th spot. She's actually had 5 races here, including those Junior Worlds, all of them apart from 2 World Cup appearances at the junior level. .75 compared to 5.69 in the first heat, and I think all of that is going to be down to how much snow there is just past the roof.
Yeah, you also saw her using her foot as soon as she came out of the groove, so we can't really see it on the camera angles here, but one of the things is that obviously there's 2 grooves at the top of the track where you put your sled in, one of them to push, and sometimes the end of the grooves can get a bit worn down and it can push the sled out to the left or the right, and you really want to control that and get a nice exit from the groove and lined up for the first corner straight away. So maybe it's just pulling a little bit to the right at the moment.
easing away from our current leader, Annie O'Shea, 2700s to 3800s. Fastest speed at the bottom of the track, still Kimberly Boss of the Netherlands, who lies in 4th place. But now, quicker than her has gone Lelda Pregelena, 70.9 miles an hour. Fastest slide we've seen, 58.87. And that is the second fastest heat of the competition. That would have left her in 2nd place in the first heat, ahead of Tina Hermann. And given how much snow is coming down, that is a great run from Lelda.
Yeah, that really was. She was smooth. She got the difficult corners done well. Maintained her speed down the track. Yeah, really nice work in the snow.
Let's have a look. Look, she's got that runner that she's got the weight on. So she's a southpaw, lefty, pushing on that right-hand groove. And does it suddenly fill up with snow as they get out of the roof, or does it just pop? Don't see. But Lelda Pregelena, 2nd fastest run, only to first-round leader Jacqueline Lerling. That could move her way up the order. Next up, Julia Kanakina, 8th place here last year, her best ever World Cup result. Last year was her rookie season. She's 8th after the first heat. This former ballet dancer is going to have to produce a big run to stay in front of Pregelena.
Yeah, looking nice and relaxed on the sled as she goes into corner 1. Not doing too much, just using her head now to correct and maintain the sled on the left-hand side going into 3.
5:55 start, only Laura Dees in the first heat has started faster by 100th. Little rocky 4 to 5.
Yeah, let's see if that affects her time. Correcting and getting early into Kreisel.
Big height in the 2nd pressure.
Gets the exit quite well.
200s behind, this could be close. Is she going to have any speed left, Ben?
Yeah, we're about to find out. No.
2 miles an hour slower than Lelda Pregelena. 1 mile an hour down into corner 15 behind the Latvian girl. So she will go into 2nd place. Lelda might threaten the medalists here with that 2nd run.
Yeah, that was a fantastic run by Lelda. She could be in the leader's box for a while.
59.41, still quicker than Kanakina's first heat. She's in 2nd place. Again, she might end up where she was last year in the top 8.
Corner 4 here, just a little bit high and long on the exit. You can see her trying to use her right-hand foot to stay off that wall. It just flips over. Nothing too bad. Not on her side, but on one runner. Kreisel here, key corner, really low after that first pressure. The lower you are, the higher you're going to be at the top of the 2nd pressure.
Disappeared from sight at the bottom of the first arc. Now here's the other girl with the sky blue helmet. This is Laura Dees, last year's race winner. Last 2 seasons, we've had first-time winners here in Altenberg. Haven't had a German winner since December 2012. Mind you, we've only had 2 World Cup races since December 2012, so still. 5:49, that's a really big start from Laura Dees. Now, corner 4, Ben, is what unstitched her first run. She's got a big skid going down there again.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, she'll be looking to fix corner 4, but in the meantime, she's had problems between 2 and 3. So much better 4 that time.
Fixed 4 to 5, so she's still got speed on board.
Yep, still got that speed. Still in the lead at the moment.
Was 5,500s up, now down to 3,400s.
She's going to get really close. She needs a good Kreisel here to maintain that lead.
Last pressure was clean, not too much steering. 1/4 second on Lelda Pregelena. Is it enough?
Can she get 14.15? There is a late entrance into 15.
69.4 to 70.9 of Pregelena. She goes into the red in the final corner, into 2nd. Lelda stays in the lead. 59.34 run from her. Leila Pregelena still the first in the second heat to get below a 59-second run.
And just looking out the window now, it seems like the snow's not coming down as heavy as it was.
There's enough in the track, but it won't necessarily be added to very much.
It's really important to get a good exit out of Kreisel, and that lines you up nicely for the 11-12 transition. And if you get 11-12, that'll push you across nice and early into 13, makes 14 a lot easier. Just coming out of 14, and that's the wrong side of the track to be on. You really want to be on the right-hand side going into 15.
She could feel that. That's why her head popped up to see exactly how far offline she was. Well, more red, white and blue, because this is the Olympic champion Lizzie Arnold, a season away last year. But she wears the yellow vest of our World Cup leader. She's not going to take her coat off into the final moment because it is cold. And the top of this track, Ben, more than any other, I think, apart from maybe Calgary, seems to be like a real wind tunnel. It's like 10 degrees colder at the start than it is anywhere else.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a long start too, and what often happens is just as you're about to push, the wind starts blowing in at you.
So what can the experience of Lizzie Arnold produce? 5.74 the start, a little quicker than her first heat. She has the lead over Leila Pregelena by 35 hundredths.
Yeah, looking nice and relaxed on the sled so far. Nice lines between 2 and 3. A little bit of a tap there before 5.
World Cup medal here. She took the silver 2 seasons ago behind Maria Oliver.
Pushed across out of corner 9 into that right-hand wall. I think that happened to her in the first run as well. Low line around Kreisel, very low.
Still 28 hundredths up. How much has she got left on board? 9 hundredths. Not enough speed. 65.2 to 67.7 for Pregelena. 2 miles an hour slower, and that's shown immediately. 3.6 miles an hour slower through the final speed track. She loses 4 spots, only the 10th fastest run, a 59.95. Ben, that's 6/10 slower than her previous.
4th place at the moment for Lizzie Arnold.
Yeah, Lizzie won't be happy with that.
Not at all.
Maybe not the cleanest 4.5. I'd say maybe she controlled it too much in the Kreisel. She hurt.
Again, taking a long time to stand up off the sled. She's got a smile on her face as Jen is there with the sled, but...
Oh no, I think she's hurt. Coming out of 9 here. Just touching that wall on the right-hand side. And if you know you're going to touch that wall on the right-hand side, you really want to use that hit to push you across the track and get that early entrance into Kreisel.
The instinct was all still there. You could see her steering to get that right-hand line. The smile is back, but it's almost reminiscent of when she missed a race a couple of seasons ago because she was getting dizzy. There is Laura Dees, and I think the yellow jersey of the World Cup leader may be moving position. We're going to have to find out shortly. Here's Marina Gilardoni of Switzerland. She lies in 5th place. Can she get in amongst the medals? Another big start from her, 5.51. Flying start from the former bobsled break athlete.
She's going to have to use all that speed that she's got from the start to get herself down the track quickly. A lot of skidding there.
You see the legs swinging around at the back. That means the runners are going sideways, and you know what that does when skis and ice skis go sideways. That's what you use to slow down. It's the same effect here.
Decent line out of Kreisel, just touching that right-hand wall a little bit.
A really similar sliding style I always think to Katie Uhlaender, feet apart, so the knees play a big part in her steering. So the ideal is to be a fish with your heels close together.
Yeah, that's one of the things there's a bit of debate about, which is aerodynamically better, feet together or feet apart.
But again, this is such an individual sport, isn't it? It's whatever feels best, that's what's best.
Yeah.
Because if you force yourself to slide in somebody else's manner, it's not going to work.
Yeah, you have to make it work for you.
She slips 4 spots. So 4 to go. Lelda Pregelena is in the lead, and yikes.
Yeah, that one runner going into corner 5. It's getting there, I think that's 67.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of researching here. I don't think Lelda Pregelena has had a World Cup top 3 in her career.
No, I think you're right.
She leads 4 to go. No, there they are. I've just already nailed that coffin lid shut. Here comes Anna Fernstedt. She might be the one to take the lead away from the Latvian. World Cup rookie. 8th place in Whistler, 4th in Lake Placid, so she can certainly drive the tricky tracks.
Yeah, one of her home tracks here. It's great to see young new sliders on the World Cup doing well. Doing good so far. Nice line between 4 and 5.
About 0.05 of a second is the advantage. She is going to need a phenomenal Kreisel.
She's maintaining it slightly.
Run down the straight. She's a fraction faster than Pregelena into the Kreisel.
Has she picked up speed?
Yes.
Yes, a little bit.
Half a mile an hour, so 1.5 kilometers an hour quicker.
It's a nice line from 14 to 15.
1.5 miles an hour quicker at the bottom. She's aiming for the medals. She has the lead over Lelda Pregelena, and across the line she goes. The Latvian in second. And the German takes the lead. Anna Fernstedt. Will Germany sweep the medals? She's in the lead with 3 to go.
Yeah, very nice run. First season on the World Cup, and obviously a lot of pressure wanting to get that first podium finish.
Quarter of a second quicker than her first heat as well.
Nice exit at corner 9 there. You see her just looking into the Kreisel, looking for that entrance that she wants. The sled slowly comes over to the left-hand side.
Follows the eyes, they say. There is Anna Fernstedt, just 21 years old, born in Prague, which is about a 2-hour drive from here. Now lives in Berchtesgaden. This is her second home track. Austria's greatest ever female skeleton athlete, Janine Flock. 3rd place after the first heat. 3200's first heat advantage over the current leader, but slightly more germane, only 400s behind Tina Hermann in 2nd place. Janine, winner in Lake Placid last time out. She has never had a World Cup medal in Altenberg.
I think winning a medal in Altenberg is a real sort of show of respect. It means that you're a good slider. It means that you know what you're doing. You can steer well, you can push well.
She knows how important that start is. 5.79 quicker than her first heat, which was a 5.88. So she finds over a 1/10 of a second in the run alone. Leads by half a second.
Looking good so far.
7/10 in front.
Looking nice and relaxed and in control. Don't see her trying to do too much.
She's got her eyes fixed on the prize, hasn't she? It's either she or Jacqueline Lurling who is going to take the yellow jersey. Lurling lies second in the World Cup points at the moment. Flock still leads by 3/4 of a second.
Yeah, and it was a nice Kreisel in the middle of the track. Bit of a touch there going into 15, but it shouldn't cost her too much at the bottom.
Nearly a mile an hour slower than Anna Fernstedt, so some of that will go away. 4600s in front. Fernstedt may not take a World Cup medal here. She may end up with another 4th place, as she had in Lake Placid, but Janine Flock definitely guaranteed her first World Cup medal in Altenberg.
Yeah, and the run faster than her first run.
That throws down a real gauntlet to Tina Hermann, who comes up next. Well, the answer is no, Germany are not going to sweep the podium.
Exit corner 4 here. A little bit of a touch going into corner 5, but nothing too bad. Nice line out of 14, just drifting over and touching that right-hand wall, and that throws her across the track into the middle of 15.
There's a little bit of ice sticking out there. Should have been a glancing play. It really pinged her across, didn't it? That's unfortunate. Janine Flock leads from Anna Fernstedt and Laura Pregelena. 2 to go, both German. Tina Hermann is the first of the 2. Tina Hermann took silver ahead of Jacqueline Lurling last year. Lurling remains in the start hut to follow her down the ice. The battle now for Tina Hermann, only 900ths in front of Janine Flock as she lies down into corner 1. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, I don't know if Tina's going to be too concerned. I think she's going to be really focused on trying to win this race, and she knows this track very well. Her and Jacqueline will have been battling out here in the selection races for a number of years now. So this is nothing new for Tina.
Last year's World Cup champion. Failed to win in Altenberg. Failed to medal in Lake Placid. Failed to win in St. Moritz. Apart from that, she swept everything before her.
Still slightly behind.
But this is where she works her magic, isn't it? Below the Kreisel, this is where both German girls dig for gold.
Oh, it's going to be close.
71.6.
She's not going to do it.
She was the same speed as Janine Flock. This could be to the 100th. Oh, second and 10th. Where did she find that in the final uphill corners? Wow. So we're not going to have an Austrian winner.
1:57.6.
Tina Hermann takes the lead from Janine Flock. 400s ahead in the first heat, a 10th ahead after 2. Wow.
Nice run by Tina. Maintained her cool and held it together in the bottom of the track and just beat Janine.
She took silver here last year, beaten by Laura Dees. That's not going to happen this year. Laura Dees is down in 5th with 1 more slider to go, but is Tina Hermann our winner? Or could it be the first time ever on the top step at the highest level for this young lady? Jacqueline Lurling. Her mum is here, her dad is here, her family are here, her fan club is here. They are making a lot of noise. Local fans will be hoping for the first win of the weekend to come for Germany. How much is guaranteed, but will it be Tina Hermann or Jacqueline Lurling? Lurling with a big first heat advantage, Ben. Can she sustain that over Tina Hermann?
Yeah, this is going to be a fascinating round. Looking good so far. Nice line coming into 3. Can she get 4? Yeah, nice and cool around corner 4. She might lose a little bit of time through here, but the bottom of the track after Kreisel is where she's really going to make up the time, especially what happened in the first run.
Taller,
can she do it here? Now she's got the lead.
She'll make better work of it through the snow, where she meets it than Tina Hermann, perhaps. Tiny advantage.
Yeah, really nice Kreisel too. You can see her just allowing the sled to run a bit, not trying to do too much.
Faster than Tina Hermann. This is the fastest speed we've seen so far. Comfortably quicker than anybody else. Jacqueline Lurling is going to win her first ever World Cup gold medal by 4400ths of a second. 100th slower than her first heat. 58.58, 58.59. That is consistency. That is Jacqueline Lurling winning for the first time in the World Cup.
That's a fantastic result. And so well deserved too.
Well, she took the silver medal in Whistler behind Elizabeth Archie of Canada. She was 5th in Lake Placid and she claims her first gold medal here. Bronze last year behind Tina Hermann. Hermann again in the silver medal position. But Jacqueline Lurling takes the win. And she will wear the yellow vest as she goes home to Winterberg next week of the World Cup leader.
Can she get back-to-back wins?
I wouldn't bet money against it, that's for sure.
Second at the World Championships in Winterberg 2 years ago. She likes that track.
Yeah.
She now loves this track.
As a newcomer, we've never seen her compete before. She came in as the junior world champion, got the free pass, didn't she? And so nearly won it. Lots of yellow jackets there to offer congratulations to her, and not just the Germans either. Always great to see a first-time winner, and a big smile, whatever the conditions, from Jacqueline Lurling.
So is that 3 first-time winners in the last 3 years here?
Yes. Well, now let's hope that she doesn't follow the trend of this being their only win to date.
Let's hope not.
She might have a chance of turning the other around next weekend and winning again in Winterberg, but this is a big win for her. And to take it, as you said earlier, at Altenberg, to get a medal in Altenberg, to get a win in Altenberg, that's something very special.
Yeah, it really means you're a good slider. It means that you really know how to drive down the track. It's a difficult track here, and that's a great win.
Jacqueline Lurling takes victory by 4/10 from Tina Hermann. Janine Flock a 10th behind in the bronze medal position. Anna Fernstedt in 4th ahead of Lelda Predjelena, who had a really good run from 9th in Heat 1 up to 5th. Laura Dees in 6th position ahead of Julia Kanakina. So those are the results of round 3 of the BMW IBSF Women's Skeleton World Cup here at snowy Altenberg. Well, if she was feeling butterflies, nerves or anything else, she managed to control them admirably, Ben, because she was so close to what she produced in the first heat. Even with the snow, that was possibly even a better run than her first one.
Yeah, and that's a huge confidence boost. It's like you can spend years thinking that you can win a race and believing in yourself, but to actually go out there and win a race and then, you know that you can do it, that's a big change in how you approach sliding. And so she'll gain a lot of confidence from winning today.
And she had plenty of wins at the junior level, but when you come up against the Olympic champion and world champions, then you really are, swimming with the big fish, and that's a whole different category, isn't it?
Yep, she's the best in the world today.
Yes, absolutely. The track that's always suited the German sliders. Most successful slider here in the last decade has been Anja Huber, with 3 wins, including the 2008 World Championships. She got a bronze medal in 2010 as well, then retired, of course, after the Games. But Jacqueline Lurling now adds her name to that. She breaks the non-German winning streak. In fact, 2 seasons ago, there wasn't even a German slider on the podium. That's how much they have turned around with Jacqueline Lurling, with Tina Hermann, and now clearly Anna Fernstedt is, dodging around in the shadows, looking to make her mark as well. So they've got a very strong team on their hands in women's skeleton.
Yeah, really good day from the German sliders.
Yeah, Jens Muller with a big grin on his face, and he was saying that Anna Fernstedt just does everything you ask. She doesn't have any preconceived ideas. She'll just go in and say, do that, she'll do it, and just gets quicker and quicker, and seems to be the ideal slider, just so relaxed and allows it to happen. Snowy Altenberg in Saxony, one of the toughest bobsleigh tracks on the planet. Round 3 of the BMW IBSF Women's Skeleton World Cup sees our first-time winner, Jacqueline Lurling, the 3rd first-time winner in 3 years on this track. Takes her first World Cup gold medal and the lead of the World Cup rankings, ahead of Janine Flock and Tina Hermann. Lizzie Yarnold tied with Tina Hermann now. She surrenders the yellow vest after she finishes down in 9th position. So Jacqueline Lurling, for the first time, a World Cup points leader and a World Cup race winner. So pretty good day in Saxony for the girl from Winterberg in the Hochsauerland, and she will head home, as will a very happy family and fan club, to Winterberg for next weekend's race. We're in a real hurry up now. We've got 5 races in the World Cup in 5 consecutive weekends, and a break before the World Championships in Koenigsegg, Bavaria. But this was always looking to be Jacqueline Lurling's day. From the first heat, she had over 3/10 of a second in hand over anybody else. It would have needed a disaster for her to give that away. Ben Sanford, she held her nerve, held her line superbly, and just produced another outstanding run.
Yeah, she really did. She's had a good week here. She's trained well, and today to come out here and win the race, that's a fantastic effort. To win your first World Cup, be on the podium.
German 1-2. Jacqueline Lurling ahead of Tina Hermann there on the left of your shot. And Janine Flock preventing the German clean sweep. She took the bronze medal with Anna Fernstedt of Germany in 4th spot. And you sense, as you did when Hermann arrived and when Lurling arrived, that Fernstedt won't be far away from the medals on too many occasions either. You don't get to the top of a slippery pole like the German team without being very good at what you do. So a dry, clean first heat, a snowy second heat, but victory for the first time in her career at World Cup level for Jacqueline Lurling, who takes the World Cup lead to her home track in Winterberg a week from now. From Ben Sanford, from the whole crew here, I'm Martin Heavy saying thank you for joining us in Altenberg. Stay with us for lots more racing.